Welcome back, guys, and today is the 22nd of October. Spooky Halloween season is coming up, and obviously, we're gonna get our new update. And here's the first pre order vehicle for the next update. It's the Object 140 or Object 140. It's going to be a pre order pack vehicle for obviously the USSR. Here's the vehicle itself. Right away, many of you will immediately look at it as the Object 335. It's very similar. It is very similar. It's a 100mm gun. Again, very similar to the chassis and the hull. I'm pretty sure that the chassis and the hull are one to one. We'll check. Anyway, so the pack vehicle is gonna cost 60 bucks. 60 euros in my case. 60 euros. You're gonna be getting the vehicle itself. 15 days of premium, 2000 golden eagles, a pre-order bonus, top secret, and the blacksmith of victory decal. Here it is. Nothing crazy. I would assume this, obviously you're not gonna have this box, you just have the little circle here, so the gray part will be you won't see it. So here it is. It's gonna be a round decal. Looks like we have a man here blacksmithing a sword. Cool. Yeah, so and also it has the 14.5mm anti-aircraft gun on the roof. Let's look at the images here. And let's compare it to the object here. So we're comparing the two objects. I can definitely see that the chassis is not the same. It's a weird one. It's like a hybrid between the T-54 hole and the Object 435 hole. Definitely can see a difference here. Okay. So let's see what Gaijin states. So it has a long-barreled rifle, 100mm cannon, cast dome turret, 14.5mm anti-aircraft machine gun, and a slow reverse speed. Okay. They didn't mention a stabilization auto loading. Let's check here. Maybe they will mention something regarding this. So this 100mm gun has two plane stabilization, and it's a 35 centimeters longer than the gun found in the T-54. T-54. They're not specifying which T-54. I assume that it's the same gun. So yeah. And what does this have? This has a better upgrade. So it's this gun, I assume, but a bit bigger. I think this pack vehicle is going to be at like 8.3. They already stated it's going to be in rank 6, right? Yep, rank 6. So it's gonna be somewhere here next to the T-55 AM1. So that is going to be its competitor pack. I assume they're thinking of decommissioning the T-55 AM1 pack here. I think that's the store that they're stating here, unfortunately. For those who don't know, this is a really good pack vehicle. I personally always, you can go through the channel whenever there's a Soviet pack vehicle or a G vehicle. I always tell new players that this would be a better option to purchase, as it's more beginner friendly. But now having this in mind, this could be another also beginner friendly vehicle. We have to see what BR they're gonna put it into. It does have a 2-plane stabilizer and a bigger gun, so it's going to be a heavier punching T-54 with a stabilizer. Which means it's slightly more muscle velocity, makes sense, longer barrel, more energy, having one character penetration abilities. In the terms of ammunition, the Object 140 can fire high explosive, APCBC, heat, and APDS rounds. So no Sabo rounds. Interesting. So it's not going to be at 8.7 for sure with this vehicle, because this one has Sabo. So again, that further pushes me to like 8.3 being its lineup, because again, 8.3 you have a mixture of APDS, some lower penetrating sabos, low caliber sabos really, heat and HE. So I think it's gonna have a similar capabilities as the T-55A at 8.3. So if you played this vehicle, expect a similar result, just to remove the sabo and just use APDS, HE, and heat. I think it's going to have something similar to this, in my opinion. But yeah, so it's either going to be 8.0 or 8.3 the vehicle. And what else did they specify here? Those are important mention that's useful tank aircraft. So it has a good anti-aircraft machine gun on the roof. That's very good. Ideal to fight off helicopters in ground battles. Also against light armored vehicles. Yep. For mobility and armor, the Object 140 is moderately fast and has good mobilities, except it's reverse, typical of the Soviet tanks. Good angled armor plates and cast turret that will ricochet more than a dozen armor-piercing shells. Having said that, the object model has no protection against heat-based shells or guided missiles. Makes sense, as a prototype, an old one too. Meaning it's very vulnerable to these types of weapons. Nevertheless, this tank can be called truly universal. In any composition, it can start distances as a sniper and help storm capture points, cover teammates. They didn't specify anything about a rangefinder. You gotta take me to the rangefinder? Google, huh? So, one tank has arrived this day, with the second prototype being welded with a sight and rangefinder mixed with rollers. So, is it gonna have a rangefinder, Gaijin? I mean, you didn't specify it here. Neither stabilization. I don't know who wrote this fucking post, this devlog, or whatever, this pre-order article, because they are focused on the wrong stuff. Like, okay, this should have been like removed. Tell us if it has a rangefinder or a. I don't think it has a laser rangefinder. I don't think, it isn't that era where it could have it. We'll see. So far, they only mentioned 2-plane stabilizer, and nothing about a rangefinder. So I mean, it still has a stabilizer. I assume it's gonna have a stabilizer. We have to see though, because here it says it has a rangefinder mixed with rollers and both prototypes. Display long time coming. Magazine. Your must control the prototype return to sister homeland. Resume and use it time. It's interesting. I don't know. This devlog is not that detailed. We're gonna have to see on the dev server how this thing is. I don't see anything on the 3D model renders that it will have any type of rangefinder or laser rangefinder. Maybe it will have a rangefinder. But yeah, interesting vehicle. Let me just check here. Not seeing any boxes, nothing. It looks so barren, by the way, the turret. It's so simple. It's incredible. So I assume this is gonna be an overall a really good fit into all situation tank. I can definitely see this tank being that, where you can do everything with it. You can push, you can flank, you can brawl with it a little bit. You can do some basic close range anti-air support. You could take care of lightly armored vehicles. Definitely has that versatile ability, and I think this will be a really good vehicle to have as a new player, because it lets you play with multiple different play styles. You could be camping, you could be pushing, like I said before. It unlocks a lot of different abilities as a new player to play, right? Different ways to play the game or the map specifically. So definitely an interesting vehicle. We'll have to see. I'm definitely excited to jump into the dev server with this thing when it's out and see how it goes. But yeah, this is our first pre-ordered pack as the Object 140. Thank you guys for watching, and see you on the dev servers with this thing hopefully in next video. Thank you guys, see you, and have a lovely day.